Welcome to the Ungrateful Ambassadors. I'm Super Miles.
Alright, he did Toshiosuke.
And Game of Thrones is about to start.
Oh boy. Is
And-
it?
Yeah. And since we're going into the final season, I thought it'd be great to talk about how we first started watching.
Oh man.
Yeah. So
You want to start?
I'll go first.
Go ahead.
For me, it started maybe 3 years ago. Before season 5 started, and I was in North Carolina. I went to homecoming for A&T, and when the homecoming was over, I went to my dad's house in Charlotte, and he was watching TV, and I saw it, and I was like, "Is that Game of Thrones?" He was like, "Yeah." He's like, "You ever seen it?" I was like, "Nah, I've never seen it." He was like, "Stop that joint," and went all the way back to the first. He's like, "Nah, let me get you started." Showed me the first episode and was kind of basically explaining to me little stuff that was going on and like getting me started. So once I watched it, after I watched the first episode, he's like, "Yeah, so you think you like this?" I was like, "Hell yeah, I can't wait!" Like, what you mean? So from there, I have once he showed it to me, I came back home, and this is before I had internet in my house because I had just moved in. So before I had set up internet, all I could do was watch it on my phone, and I didn't get a good signal in my house. So when I first started watching, when I would be home, I wanted to watch so bad. I used to watch the shit in my car, like, because I just wanted to keep watching. Like I was like, whenever I found free time, I would watch the fucking show, and I got caught up quick. And I had to wait till season 6 started. I had to wait till season 7 started. Now I had to wait till 8. So it's been. I know the struggle at least, to have to wait. A lot of people now just getting started and they get to watch the shit soon. And I'm just like, y'all have no idea. Like they'll finish and be like, damn man, when the next season start? Like, you don't know the struggle. Get the fuck out of here. But yeah, that's how I got introduced. And I remember the funniest thing ever was when I was watching the first episode. And like when they first showed them at King's Landing, my father was like, "Yeah, see that's Jamie and Cersei. They brothers and sisters. And they nasty." I'm like, oh my god. So yeah. Yeah, I was in it from the beginning once I saw it. But yeah, that's the best thing. If you really want to get into it, it's best if somebody's there to explain what's going on because it's so much being explained, like put out there.
Kinda is.
Yeah, they building this whole world, and it's hard in the first episode to realize like who's this king, who's this Stark guy, who the fuck is this Daenerys girl?
Okay, I'm confused. Are the bags on or off?
Like it's a lot, so I can understand why people can't. Yeah, oof.
Woo! Boy. Excuse
Yeah.
me. Sorry, I had flashbacks.
Yeah. And she got skinnier. Ooh.
Yeah,
she
did.
first started.
She was thick than a mop.
Thicker than a bull.
Oh man. She got out there. She got way to get in that tub.
Oh
like,
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I started. I think it was 2015, 2016, something like that. And like for years, I had heard about Game of Thrones, but like most people could. The only thing that had me wanting to watch it, someone was like, "Well, they got dragons in it," and I love dragons. Dragons is a big deal for me, so I was like, "Oh, word!" But it took me a while to finally like download them all, and then finally sit down and watch it.
You know what I hate? Oh, my bad. You know what I hate? You be like, "Oh, that's that show with the Dungeons and Dragons." Like,
right, bro. No, that's not.
It's more to it than that.
It's more about it.
Right.
But so let me just put it this way, okay? So before I got on Game of Thrones, I watched Walking Dead.
Yeah.
And the reason I got into Walking Dead, I was watching TV and there was a commercial talking about season 2 was going to start. Season 2 happened to be starting on my birthday. So I was like, and they were like, watch season 1 now. So I was like, fuck it. So I watched season 1 of Walking Dead. After I started, I was hooked. I was watching it. I started reading the comics. I just was like, yes, So
Same.
So basically, Walking Dead took up a lot of my just time. I didn't devote myself to anything else. And then I got on the ship once I got into the Navy, and it was just like, everybody in my department watched Game of Thrones. And they were like, yo, you need to watch it. So I was like, okay. I had them all downloaded anyway, so I was like, sure, whatever, right? So I had watch at 2:30 in the morning. I went to get into bed. But I was like, I'm going to watch an episode of Game of Thrones before I go to bed. Because before that, I had watched the episode of Banshee. And I was like, let me check out Game of Thrones real quick. Man, let me tell you, when it got to the end of that episode, I was sleepy before, but I was wide awake because I was like, I wanted to watch the next episode so bad. So what I did, I downloaded every season onto my iPad. And like all day, anytime I had free time, I'm pulling it out and I'm like in the child line. They're like, what you watching? Game of Thrones. What season you on? Season 2.
People say that too. They be like, yo, I'm so behind. Like, I won't have time to watch it all.
Like,
son,
you'll
find the time. You find. You don't give up. You won't watch anything else. Nothing else matters.
My leg will go dead to sleep on the toilet if I got to. Son, and I'm gonna finish this episode. Right. Like, hold up.
So I've been about to be late to work because I'm like,
right.
I'm supposed to be leaving right by 9:45.
But you be so caught up in an episode.
No, I gotta finish this shit. And it'd be episodes I already seen.
Right.
And I still be like...
But you just be sitting there like, oh, this is cool as shit.
Yeah.
Like, man, look.
Yeah.
So, yeah, when I got started on Game of Thrones, I did not stop at all until I caught up. And once I caught up, I was pissed. I was so goddamn mad because I was like, why did I do that to myself? Because I was like, I already know I'm not going to be able to watch this shit.
You be trying to pace yourself.
All right, but it don't work. It don't work. I promise you. After I caught up, I came home. I had got leave for like a week or something. And I asked my mom, I said, yo, you watch Game of Thrones? And she was like, no. And I was like, well, then sit down.
Right. What the fuck are you doing?
We about to get into this. And when I tell you, I had a week. I shoved Game of Thrones down her throat. I had her at season 4, mid-season, by the time I left. Mm-hmm. I was like nonstop having her watch it. So, especially once you got to season 3. Mm-hmm. You got to that Red Wedding episode.
That's it.
Fuck. I knew it. I can believe it. I can't fuck it.
It's still
it hurts.
It hurts, man. It hurts to remember because people told me about it,
son.
Like everybody was like, "Yo, wait till you get to the Red Wedding. Red Wedding this, Red Wedding that." I was like, "What the fuck is the Red Wedding?"
It was before I started watching it. Well, maybe as soon as when I first started. No, it was before that. It was before I started watching. When Red Wedding happened, everybody of course the internet went crazy because they're like, "Yo, it finally happened. The Red Wedding happened." Blah blah blah. So I knew of it, but I didn't know what happened. I didn't know when it was. I didn't know what happened.
Didn't know you were going to care about the characters that it was happening to until you got there. You're like, oh, oh, like, no.
Oh man, and it's crazy. Like speaking of that, because of why it hurt so much is the same reason. The reason why we care about these people so much was all based from the first season. And when you think spoilers, because if you haven't seen it, please go see it.
Please.
But when you watch Game of Thrones, if you realize who you cared about in the first season so much, you'll realize that he lost his head by fucking episode 9. So in 9 episodes, we love this man so much. We talk about him all the fucking time. It was one of the biggest moments in TV history.
Because it was one of those things okay, for example, all my anime lovers out there, if you watch Attack on Titan, right? Remember what happened to Eren? And he got eaten. And everybody was like, so the main character just got eaten. So what the fuck happens now? Well, that's basically what you got with Game of Thrones. Because you didn't know it was going to happen. You didn't think it was going to happen. You in the back of your mind, you're like, somebody's going to save him. Somebody's coming. Something's going to happen. Some way they're going to stop this. And it doesn't. And you're like...
Yeah. Yeah.
So at that point, Game of Thrones now establishes in your mind everyone's fucking game in this goddamn show. There's not a single person in this show that is not able to be killed.
Right.
Even a fan favorite
will go
was killed,
which is why they struggle now.
Yeah,
because now they've turned into a show instead of based from the book. Now that they're doing it on their own, once they pass the books, they've been trying to do it on their own, and you can see it's not the same. The dialogue ain't the same. The situations aren't the same.
They do a lot of references to
the previous seasons. Like season 7 is straight up, what, gratitude or whatever. Like what do you call it? Like just paying homage to like the first season.
Yeah, because season 7 is like all the people that interacted with each other back in season 1.
Or throughout.
Or like just throughout. Now they've all come back together. So now they're like, oh, hey, I haven't seen you since such and such. And then they want to make a reference.
Remember that time? Or remember that person who said this?
Remember when you said, oh, yeah, that was,
Yeah, I think the worst one was when they attacked, what's the name? Lannisport, Castle Rock. When they attacked Castle Rock and Tyrion sitting up there talking about, like a good friend once said to me, give me good 10 good men and I'll impregnate the bitch. Like, I know Bron said that. Yeah, I saw it happen.
Like, we were there.
We were there.
We were there, but
trust me, I've seen this shit. You made me want to watch it multiple times because of how good the show was. Right. So now you're trying to like sell me on some old shit that it was already sold.
Like you don't have to reestablish it, bro.
Right. Right. And that was a lot in season. It was a lot of that. And I'm just sitting there like, all right, man, y'all gotta do better. Then they decided to do the fast tracking, and I'm feeling like they're trying to please too many people. Like if somebody said Game of Thrones is too slow for me, like, no, it's not. There's a lot that goes on, and everything that goes on is important. There's a lot of character development.
Nobody ever looked at Star Wars and was like, it's too slow. I mean, even though it's extremely slow.
Right.
But nobody's ever said
right, but the shit matters. Like, that's the point. There's
Lord of the Rings is long as fuck, but guess what? You sat there for that whole 3 hours, motherfucker.
Right. And you like this character because of them taking that time to let them mature. So
anytime Legolas popped up on screen, nigga, I was like,
yeah, right. So a lot of that has been taken away. And then also people are safe now. Because there's a lot of time.
There hasn't been as much death.
Who died?
Oh, at least in a gruesome way. No, nobody.
Who died?
What, as far as the main
who that we cared about died
since Hodor.
Since Hodor. And that was season 5.
Was this? No, that was season 6 when it happened. No, it was season 6 because Bran wasn't in season 5 at all. I mean, Bran wasn't in. Bran wasn't in season 5 at all. So it was until season 6 that happened with Hodor.
Maybe. Yeah. I don't think so, but maybe.
No, I'm telling you, because season 5, Bran was not in it at all.
See, so season 6. So since season 6, which that was like halfway through or something like that, towards the end, and he was the only one. Name somebody else who died that we cared about. Nobody.
I mean, technically somebody did.
But name them.
John.
No.
John did that. That was season 6.
No, that was season 5. Season 6 was Battle of the Bastards. He died at the end of season 5. Yeah, season 5, like you said, that was Bran's last season. That's when he went to the cave with Three-Eyed Raven. And then after
season 5, he was in it. You know what I'm saying? Bran wasn't in season 5 at all.
He wasn't in season 6.
No, he wasn't in season 5.
Well, season 5, whichever one.
Season 6 was when he came. He was in the cave with the Three-Eyed Raven. Yes.
Okay, so
but season 5, he was not in.
Yeah, so either way, Jon died and came back, and then he won the Battle of the Bastards in season 6. So he died at the end of season 5. When season 6 started, he came back to life. Yeah. So after that, like I said, other than the fucking Hodor, I guess you can say OSHA, maybe.
OSHA. But I mean, but the thing was about the OSHA thing. It was like yeah, you were upset that OSHA died.
Yeah,
but at the same time, OSHA hadn't been in the show for so long.
Right.
You had forgot that she was even a fucking character.
And fucking Rickon ain't nobody.
Right, fucking Rickon.
His dumbass.
Nobody fucking cares about Rickon.
Nobody cares.
I mean, I'm sorry. Like,
come on, bro.
The last time we saw that motherfucker, he was like 8 or some shit. And I mean, yeah. It's not really the actors' faults, but you know, most of them are supposed to be like children. And you got Rickon looking like a whole fucking, he's like 15, 16 now. Yeah. You're like, how long have these motherfuckers been gone? Like, wait a minute. Rickon look old as fuck right now. So you're like, and now that I think about it, I don't even remember him
had died in season 5 too. So I'm Sir Barristan, the one who left. And other than, like I said, and I think that was season 5.
Which pissed me off because Sir Barristan was a fucking ball.
I know. So at this point,
he got jumped. Right. They had to jump this man. Right. He old as fuck. He was putting people down.
Right.
They had to jump him.
So like I said, nobody other than Hodor that we cared about actually died.
Yeah, pretty much.
There's like, we haven't had that sort of impact since what? I guess. Yeah, probably.
I mean,
but that was bound to happen.
It was epic though.
Cause
motherfucker said,
I'm mad about that. I'm mad about that sequence too. That was definitely one of the worst episodes. The whole Magnificent Seven joint. Cause for one, they all should have died out there. Okay.
Shut up. There was like no way
they should have survived that. Motherfuckers who could just conjure fire. I swear, as they were freezing to death, nobody thought,
hey, let's start a fucking fire so we don't die. Like, hey, he's bringing fire on your son. Hey, how about you use that magic trick and warm us up a little bit?
Right. Like, what the fuck are you doing? And then the whole, like I said, her drag, like Viserion getting hit by that air, like they did the same thing they just did when they fought the Lannisters. Like when they missed the first one and then hit the second time. Then he threw the ice joint, missed the first time. Second time he hit. And they could have been out of there if Jon would have got on the fucking dragon. Like, what the fuck are you waiting on?
He wanted to jump down. And what the fuck?
Right, y'all.
I think he was trying to run at the Night King.
I don't fucking know.
It's like, nigga, there's a whole army of white.
There's a whole army in front of you.
You do not have time.
And all the fucking dragon fire she was spitting, 3 dragons spitting fire all around this army, and they didn't do a fucking thing. For real, for real. All they did was back them up like a tad bit. Because they were still on their ass.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that they could light the Night King on fire, though, because apparently he can disperse fire.
And like I said, what the fuck was Jon waiting for? And what was Daenerys waiting for? By that time, I would have told either Viserion or Rhaegon to pick his ass up.
Right,
just pick him up.
Man,
what are you going to do? Right, what are you going to do?
You going to stab him?
Get off me, dragon. Like, get his dumb ass on here. Yeah, and he should have died, too. I don't give a fuck if he'd have chosen one or maybe not. He should have died. He should have died from fucking hypothermia.
Breathe. It's so cold.
I'm gonna warm you up.
It's so cold.
Okay.
Hey, that motherfucker dropped in that water. Like, oh, but he's okay. And Uncle Benjamin just rolls up.
Right. And kills
Gotta get out of here.
Right.
Like,
take my horse and go. Why don't you pick him up and y'all both go?
Right. Because you definitely got the space to do it. Like,
that's, yeah. So, Game of Thrones, we gonna let that one pass.
Yeah, it's just an example of when a series is going
for a little too long.
Just too long. And it's not even so much that with Game of Thrones. The problem with Game of Thrones is the fact that it started off so well because they were going based off the source material, and then George R.R. Martin started taking too fucking long, and they were like, well, okay, we'll just do
now we're going without you.
And you're like, there's a reason why.
Right. It took time.
It took him time to write it, right. But, it was for a reason.
And
like, fucking J.R.R. Tolkien didn't, just write Lord of the Rings like that. I mean, I know they're coming out with a movie explaining that, but best believe he didn't write Lord of the Rings in one fucking night. Like, it took him a minute.
There are other books that, they could have did the prequel movies they about to do. They could have did those in seasons while he was taking his time. Like, they could have went back so they can show you the relevance.
But... it's still more Game of Thrones.
So now they're gonna wait till the end, and then they're gonna put him out.
Yeah, like how Walking Dead killed Rick, and now they're like, well, he's not dead, and we're gonna do some spin-off movies with him. Why? Why would you do that?
They
either kill him or don't. Don't bullshit.
Right.
You know, you already killed Carl, so you know you're already angered about most of your
fan
base. Anyway.
We don't want to upset the fans like when they brought Glenn back because Glenn was fucking dead. I don't give a fuck. He was dead. So they brought him back because the fans was upset. Like when he
you can't. And then they brought him back, and then guess what? Now we're gonna kill him the way he was supposed to.
He was like, "Yo, I might have to call out of work tomorrow because I lost a family member." Like, yeah, we fuck with Glenn, but that's what I'm saying. Like, that's the whole point of Game of Thrones. Like, people ain't safe. The good guy don't always win, and that's why you have to be who you gonna be. Because when you lose, if you lose, how you gonna go out? Are you gonna go out just trying to do what somebody else wanted you to do with you getting killed anyway? Like, you might as well stick to your guns. And that's why Ned struggled with his decision for so long. Because it's like, yo, like Varys tried to tell him, like, yeah, I understand. Like, you are a soldier and you know how to die. What about your daughters? Right. Like, it's more happening right now, right, than your pride. Your pride, motherfucker. Right. So, like, that's another thing that they've gotten away from. And they've made Tyrion, like, not shit no more. Like, they've really, like, taken away his best quality. Like, I understand, like, after the whole thing with Shay and his father and all that and losing his family, he wasn't right at first. But it's still Tyrion. He's gotten past it now because, remember, once he met Daenerys, he's like, I believe in something again. Like, I lost everything, but now there's somebody I believe in. That should have got him back to what he was supposed to be doing. Sure. So, and don't be mad at him because fucking, what's the name? Euron destroyed half the fleet. Don't forget, he is, this great captain. I think, you established this, that he was a great captain. So why wouldn't you think he was capable of doing this? Like, come on. Yeah. So
real shit. Because I won't lie, when I first saw that episode and he like rolled up on them the way that he did, I was like, I don't know if Euron is this badass. Because of the fact that it's like he hadn't been in a series so long. So you're like, he's not, like most characters you hear like, oh, there's tales of them doing this or them doing that. So then you're like, oh, okay. But Euron, you never heard anything about him. He just was the brother that was gone and then he's back all of a sudden.
Now who you supposed to be?
Oh, that's Black Dynamite.
I ain't asked you, nigga. Shut up.
And then he's fighting the Vipers of Dorne and shit. And he fucks them up. Like, no contest. Beats the shit out of them. All right. And you're like, damn. Like, wait a minute.
All right.
Who the fuck? Like, was he supposed to be this good at fighting? Like, apparently the fuck so. Yeah. Like
it seems as though there's few people that live up to their reputation.
Few.
Because I think even Robert, whether he was drunk or not, he still should have took out that bull without no problem.
Yeah, I mean, he said he managed to kill it, but, he was drunk. So,
yeah.
So that's the only reason. But, I mean,
and which is... This motherfucker drink all the time. He can't
right. Get him like, it should have been like the Bo Wright show of fucking Game of Thrones. Like, I can function drunk, okay? Like, I don't... Now. I'm a functioning alcoholic, okay?
Right. Fuck as much as he drink, nah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
and that's the only thing that makes sense to him is killing something. So that's even more.
I mean, think about how he won the throne. He won it off of fucking fighting a war. So of course, you like he's got to be all diplomatic and shit now. He's like, fuck that. Like
he lost to Sebastian.
He did lose to Sebastian. This is true.
Y'all don't know about that because y'all don't know the history. I'm starting to let me not act like I'm right. But I'm starting to learn more shit.
I mean, but it's like like with Ned. We didn't get to experience that with him because they were like, oh, we hear you were such a great fighter. And then Jamie over here is like, come on, bitch. And you're like, what? They were going
at it.
And then
that dumbass
fucking motherfucker jumps in the way. You're like, you piece of shit.
Like, motherfucker.
Like, even Jamie rocked that nigga. Like, ain't nobody tell you to jump into that. Like, hey, nobody told you to jump into that. We've been waiting to see that.
I'm glad you brought that up because one of my favorite parts of season 1 is when Tywin is talking to Jaime, and he's telling him, like, bruh, like, you don't understand, right? Oh my god. And he really did it.
Realistically, he was really doing it. That wasn't like a fake deer. He was legit. That the actor was legit skinning a deer for just.
And they said this was the first time he ever did it too.
Yeah, he was like, I've never done it before.
Right.
But he wanted it to be as realistic as possible.
And that shit made it really. I'm sitting there feeling like
he's having this
my
real
dad's talking to me.
You're like,
Right, like yo, like you don't understand. Like you're
made me feel
around.
like a bitch because I was like, I'm not as skin as deer. Like
right.
now I feel like I need to go do that.
Right, and that showed even more his character of like of the man's man, like the father who has these almost unrealistic expectations because like how he lived his life, so he expects you to be able to do it as well.
You can act like a man. What's the matter with you? Is this how you turn out a Hollywood Pinocchio that cries like a woman? What can I do? What can I do?
Yeah.
So it made you see even more like how he interacts with his kids. Like they established his character all the way of like, this is what you're supposed to do. Like you need to get on it because you wasting time. You getting old, and soon you might be dead. And then when you dead and gone, what you got from there? You supposed to have your kids and your kids' kids, but you made a promise saying that you weren't going to. So then what? We gonna just disappear? Yeah. Like the fucking Targaryens did? Nah, we can't do that.
Nah, that's not what he said. Fuck that. He's like, when I'm dead and gone, the one thing that lives on is the family name.
Right.
Not my accomplishments, none of that shit. The family name.
Right.
And that's all that's important.
And if I'm dead and gone, then who the fuck gonna tell my tale? So that's why, like, moments like that, they're missing later on. And I really hope somehow as they wrap it up that they can include some of this shit, because the big battle, the big battle don't matter as much when we don't care as much. Like they took their time in the early seasons establishing people, and even with Oberyn, they established Oberyn fast. Yeah. Like they showed you who he was, why he was there, and why you should care. And after doing all that,
no, goddamn, you cared when he died. You were like,
So now we at this point where it's just like people just surviving shit that they shouldn't.
Right.
And that's even more upsetting than us losing someone we like. Because for Oberyn, he was getting cocky.
Yeah.
For Ned, he was stuck.
Not to lie though, Oberyn's death was kind of some bullshit. I still got bullshit on it because he pretty much had that fight, but yeah, it was like he was talking too fucking much.
Right.
It was like
he was getting some well-deserved revenge. So I understand, but at some point you like, all right, do it.
Finish him off.
Kill him.
All right,
kill him.
Finish him.
Right.
Do it.
Yeah, whip his ass, Desmond. Whip his ass.
Nah.
Too late.
Yep.
Okay. And now you're dead.
So that's what I'm saying. I really hope we get back to those things.
At some point, you got to spam the Hadokens to get the win.
All right.
Or else somebody's going to get a comeback.
All right.
He didn't spam the Hadokens, man. He just stood back there in a corner, fucking Bison taunting.
Yeah.
Okay, bitch. Play. Ah! And then next thing you know, like, how did I lose that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're all kind of trying to figure out. How did you lose that? You pretty much had that in your pocket. And guess what? He starts monologuing. He starts talking about how feeble I am compared to him, how inevitable my defeat is. And it'll be soon be his. Yada. Fucking.
Yeah.
Just like the Incredibles said. Like, don't monologue.
Right.
If you're going to win the fight and be done with it.
Right. So, like I said, I hope as they end, they get back to those moments that we care about, because we are well invested. And speaking of, what's your prediction? Who you think gonna win the throne? Big question.
Well, you don't want me to answer that question.
I do want you to answer that question.
You really don't, because the issue is,
I'm not gonna judge you.
I went on to YouTube and a guy supposedly had the script, which I was glad that the writers did say like, oh, we made multiple scripts.
Yeah, they made.
So
like
I'm like,
oh,
thank God,
ones.
because I hope that's not what happens. But
who do you?
If I had to predict it, I don't think Daenerys is gonna get it. Jon doesn't really want it. Like, even if he had the chance to, I don't think he wants it. I already know Cersei's gonna die. There's no way she's gonna make it through this. There's too many people that want her dead, and the way that Arya killed the phrase, "If Arya wants you dead," I'm pretty sure she can do it.
She gotta make it there.
But if I had to choose, Gendry. Which I would actually like if Gendry got the throne.
That's my prediction.
Oh, Gendry?
Yep.
I would like it if Gendry got the throne, just because, like, Gendry and Sansa become a thing. And then I
think it'll be him and Arya, but
come on now, Arya.
But she doesn't want to be queen. She wants to be.
Arya doesn't even want to be a person right now.
Which is I don't get.
Arya is like, I'm a.
They kind of pushed that a little too far that she's no one, because before she even like when she the last thing she had going on before she left Bravos, like, was her owning that she was Arya Stark.
Yeah.
And when the Waif came after her, like, she was at the show and she was helping out Lady Crane because she actually like still had some sort of soul. You know what I'm saying? Like, she still cared for somebody, and this person who cared for her, who doesn't even really know her, she still cared for her.
Yeah.
And she was looking out for her. She even like invited her to come with them on tour. So now she's like, she took care of her when she got stabbed and shit. And after doing that, the fucking Waif killed her.
Yeah.
And Arya not having that shit. She was not happy. So that's when she's definitely like, yeah, I'm Arya Stark and I'm going home. But then as she gets home now, it's like, I'm just a cold-blooded assassin. What's my name? I don't fucking know. I don't care. I'm just like, wait a minute. What the fuck just happened?
You dudes don't know what duty is.
What is this 180 right now? Now you've become no one, but you just made it clear that you're Arya Stark, which is why I'm like, we still don't know what impact the war is going to have on her. And I feel like, because remember, Gendry liked Arya. Before she left, or he left, he was like, yeah, she was like, but you're my friend. And he's like, nah, you're not going to be my friend. You be my lady. So I'm thinking, of course, I think Gendry's going to win the throne because of his bloodline, which, you know, history, you know, got a little more. But I see him being king and Arya being his queen. Ironically, the thing that she said she wasn't going to be. Like, I think now that she's changed, or that the world is changing her, maybe she'll look to that. Maybe. Because I know she said she wants to travel the world and go west, see what's west of Westeros, but we'll see. I don't know. But I'm with you on the Gendry thing. Yeah. I think he'll be the king. And because I also was wondering if they might do like a reverse Aegon thing, and instead of being one nation, they split up again. But I don't know. But we'll see. But yeah, I'm with Gendry. And let us know what you think. Let us know who you think is going to win the throne. Yeah, let us know how you got started. Tell your friends, tell your family, get them started.
Yes, definitely.
All right, make sure everybody who ain't seen it see it.
Yeah, because you got almost 2 weeks.
Well, by the time this come out, you ain't gonna have no time. So I mean, the season will be going on, and by the time the thing finished, they can just stream the whole thing from start to finish.
Yeah, so. Or you could just wait till the season's over and then shove it down everyone's throat. Yeah. The entire fucking series.
Yeah. But yeah, so.
And then, you know, maybe in some time, maybe 2030, George R.R. Martin, if he's still alive, will actually release the next fucking book.
I don't know. He might fucking.
I don't know, man.
Completely destroy the rest of the show.
He might just say fuck it.
Right. I don't know. But yeah. So that was our, beginnings and where we at now. So
what we think of the show.
Right. So Game of Thrones season 8 coming at you. See y'all next time. Stay ungrateful ambassadors.
All right. Peace.